the vector of emotions is equal to what we will denote as positive emotions and what we will denote as negative emotions. You'll notice that the vector of thoughts is actually horizontal while the vector of emotions is actually vertical. And basically what we are just trying to do here is that we need to differentiate the vector of thoughts from the vector of emotions, because the vector of thoughts has different properties from the vector of emotions. So we cannot have both vectors having a horizontal arrangement, right? So if you want, you can make the vector of thoughts vertical, but you may need to make the vector of emotions horizontal, because these two have different properties, and therefore the arrangement of their vectors should also be different. So in this regard, what we have is that we know that if we have this matrix, then the direction we should take should be that we can say the state of consciousness is equal to the product between the vector of our composite thoughts and the vector of the state of emotions. So when we find the product of these two vectors, we know that we'll end up with, we multiply these times that so that we have C1, D1 there. And then this multiplied by that, obviously we just have so this becomes the actual fundamental equation of the state of consciousness, right? Alright, so given this equation, we can actually say that the state of consciousness is equal to the difference between positive thoughts associated with positive emotions and negative thoughts associated with negative emotions, which just simply means that one state of consciousness is basically a function of that person's belief systems. And you can see that for this particular person, remember that we were saying that we are focusing on the thought of life. So this means that you can see that the positive thought about life is actually positive for this particular individual, because this particular thought is associated with positive emotions, whereas his negative thoughts about life are associated with negative emotions. So this state of consciousness is associated with a positive perception about life. So this is because this particular person's belief system is associated with the pure thought of life, associated with the idea that life is good. Remember that the pure thought of life associated with the concept that life is good come from the descriptive thought of the composite thought of descriptive thought 1, which we showed that it's equal to the pure thought of life plus the descriptive thought of 1, which denoted that life is actually good. Okay, so we have come to the end of our first lecture in Thoughtmetrics. So next time that we have another lecture, we're going to basically start from the fundamental equation of consciousness, which we have already derived and shown here, and we're going to discuss the properties of thoughts as well as the properties of emotions. and we are going to look at the dynamics of consciousness, because consciousness is not static. Consciousness tends to change depending on an individual's exposure to particular conditions in different environments. In addition, consciousness also varies depending on the interactions that an entity or an individual undergoes with other individuals or entities. So in this regard, you'll realize that it is very important to actually analyze the dynamics of consciousness. And in order to do so, we are going to apply some calculus using differentiation, and to some extent we might use some integration to actually demonstrate this, because calculus is a very important mathematical tool in demonstrating the dynamics of relationships. So hopefully you'd stay tuned to our channel so that you can see our next lecture, and basically we are hoping to see you next time. See you soon.